I said we have to teach our people. Why? Because our people oppose themselves. You drinking early in the morning, that's hurting you. Right. Our people eating, like you say, them hog maws and stuff like that, that's hurting you. That's destroying your health, Mr. Eddie. That's destroying your health. God said you ain't supposed to do that. When we smoke cigarettes, we smoke weed. But the thing about it, catfish and bacon and hog maws and chitlins and stuff like that, God said we ain't supposed to eat that stuff. Right. Hog head, cheese, none of that. You ain't supposed to eat it. I'm going to show you to you in the Bible what you got.
Hold on before you do that.
Let me show you something. Hold real quick. Just let the Bible speak. Let the Bible speak. Come on, talk to me. What you got, Mr. Eddie?
Ask yourself this right here.
Come on.
How do you think we know about this? How do you think they ate that they played with that?
Okay, think about it.
On the pig,
right.
on the goat,
right.
on everything.
Right.
We made that. We made all that.
Across the store here. Hold on, Miss Eddie. Slavery is what we learn in Christianity. When we teach today, those pastors teach today in these churches, and what we understand as a race is, quote unquote, Christianity and God, knowledge of God, that was taught to us as slavery. It's not taught to us by our people. Okay, we're gonna talk on that forgiveness. But I need you to understand, you ain't supposed to be important, Mr. Eddie. Hold on, wait a minute. So you gonna walk up because God said you ain't supposed to eat pork? Hold on, God we just read it. So you know that's swine. Read. So, Mr. Eddie, do you understand what the officer was just talking to you about? Yeah. I know you're real contentious up here. You were kind of arguing a little bit. My brother in blue. What was your name again? Jamie. Okay, I got you. So, do you understand? Who are we as a race of people? What did God call us? The Israelites, right? That's what He calls us as a race. That's what we're trying to show our people. Huh? That's what we're trying to show our people. Who we are in this Bible. God sent curses upon His people, the children of Israel, us, our ancestors, for forsaking Him and doing against what He told us to do. So read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So God said His people were going to become an astonishment in the last days. That's why you look at black people, we're the first five, last high, we're on the bottom of society. In all our communities, it's nothing but baby mamas they ain't there. You barely see married families, married couples anymore like that. I'm pretty sure doing when you was coming up, they ain't everybody was married. Yeah. Seeing a single mother by herself raising some kids, that was common. I mean, not common, uncommon. But marriages that was a common thing. Jamie, how old you is, dog? 45. 45? It's probably the same thing when you were coming up. How old you is, Mr. Eddie?
I'll be 58, 47 this month.
Okay, so you 57 right now. Yeah. But Jamie, you 45. So y'all some older than me. So y'all in y'all generation, when y'all were coming up, we weren't as big astonishment as we are today. Because when you look at it, like I just pointed out, our marital structure in our community, it's garbage. It's destroyed. You got all the young kids being raised by single mothers, not having no guidance from a man in the household. Right. Then when you turn around and look at the men, a lot of them baby daddies, a lot of them getting locked up, a lot of them strung out on drugs, a lot of them walking around drunk every single day. All they do, they live to drink.
They live to kill.
And living to kill. We got gang violence in our community. The black community is living below the poverty line. Everything, if you could think of anything wrong, it's happening in mass qualities and a mass amount of our people in our community. We're suffering from everything. That's what God said. You will be an astonishment. Chinese people don't go through what we go through. Japanese people, white people, Africans, Arabs, East Indians, they don't go through nothing that we go through. Why we the only race of people who get pointed out as the problem? We've been overrepresented in the media as what Joe Biden called us, super predators. Then ain't that what he called us? He called us super predators, young black men. That's an astonishment according to God. Because God calls us the best thing walking. God said we are His chosen people, but we don't.
And thou shalt become an astonishment. A proverb.
A proverb. So a proverb is a wise saying or a stereotype. Like you said, niggas love chicken and watermelon. That's a stereotype. Because you got some black folks don't like fried chicken. You got some black folks don't even eat watermelon, even though it's good for you. But the thing about it, in the society, those minstrel shows that they used to have, when white men would put in blackface and mock black people, they were creating stereotypes. The Aunt Jemima, the Stephen from Django, the coon, the house nigga. Those were all stereotypes that were put on us in this country. The rapper, the dope boy, the game banger, the baby daddy, the baby mama, the coon. All of it is a stereotype. We the only people that suffer from these negative stereotypes, these racial tropes that they tell about our people. They used to have the thought that, oh, black women don't feel no pain. That's why they ain't giving no anesthesia. Black women don't feel no pain. That's why a lot of black women that are giving birth in these hospitals die. Because the nurses are neglecting them because of a stereotype or proverb that was put upon our race. Oh, she don't need no medicine. She good. She all right. And then she end up dying on the table. That's what God said would happen to his people in these last days. Keep reading. And a byword. And a byword. By means two, meaning you will have basically like a compound name. African American. Them two different countries. And they were named after two different white men. Africa was named after Leo Scipios Africanus, a white Roman general. Africa was named after a white Roman general named Leo Scipios Africanus. When you look at this map up here, in Libya, what's known today as Libya, back then it was called Carthage. He fought a black, quote-unquote African, but he was an Israelite general in the Second Punic Wars and conquered him, and he named that portion of Africa what is today called Africa. And then later on that term was applied to the entire continent. Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian map maker that came with Christopher Columbus to map out this entire hemisphere. The Americas were named after him. Another white man. God said that will be the names upon his people. That's a byword. That's not your name. God calls us Israel. God calls us tribe of Judah. I'm for the tribe of Gad. A lot of my brothers are here for the tribe of Judah. I had brothers that came up earlier from the tribe of Zebulun from Guatemala. That's what God calls us. He don't call us the names that America gave us. But because we forsook his commandments, now we're going through these curses. A curse is a bad thing. What we reading is bad. You being taken, your God-given name being taken from you, and you getting given something else that don't mean nothing. Read on, finish it out.
A byword among all nations, where the Lord shall lead thee.
So how is it that a Chinese man can come from China and come over here and still perform or enact those same racial stereotypes upon black people? This man was broke in China. He ain't had nothing. Came over here calling you nigga. Hurry up and buy, hurry up and buy it. Get on out, get out, nigga. Hurry up and buy. How is that when he came from the other side of the world? God said all nations gonna do this to you. Even in China, they call us niggas. It's a Chinese restaurant called Nigger King. Literally in China, it's called Nigger King.
No.
Yes, look it up. Look it up.
Say what you want to say, but don't get in there, because I ain't never heard that.
Look it up.
Oh, my
I'm telling you, look it up. That's all you got to do. It's called Nigger King.
Nigga king.
Yes, I done seen it. Yes. Give me, I'm gonna show you the reason why we out here, because this is the thing about it. Our people, when they see us out here, they see us teaching, look, we the children of Israel, but they don't understand what's the purpose of that. Us coming out to the communities, getting on these mics in the hot sun, trying to talk to black folk. Right. Give me 2 Timothy 2. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 24. I'm gonna show you why we out here, because we as a race of people, we never had this type of, and I'm gonna call it love like we getting today. This is love. Us coming out here trying to talk to you, trying to restore to you the conscience that God intended for you to have. My brother Jamie, God sent us out here to get you off of whatever it is that you're going, like that alcohol, how he was reading. God said you're not supposed to be drinking in the morning like that. It's a certain time of the day that you're supposed to drink. Don't be, because the thing about it, look at the image that you setting for these young boys when they see you. When these young girls, when they see you. You at the gas station, this is a public place. Everybody come through here. So when they see you with that beer bottle in your hand, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, you got to understand, you got to think, look, what is that doing to their psychological, they psyche? What is that doing to them? It's hurting them because they see a negative image from their elder. Read. You drink it too.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 24. And the servant of the Lord must not strive.
God said, we're the servants of God. God said, we ain't supposed to come in here trying to argue with our people, trying to fight with our people, nothing like that. But this is what we come out here for. Come on.
But be gentle unto all men.
Understand them, because our people, because we was in the same position a lot of our people out here was in, doing the same stuff. jacked up. We came out of those lifestyles and now repenting and returning to the Lord, our God, as the children of Israel. Come on.
Apt to teach, patient, and meekness, instructing those.
And what?
Instructing those
Teaching those what?
that oppose themselves.
God said we have to teach our people. Why? Because our people oppose themselves. You drinking early in the morning, that's hurting you.
Right.
Our people eating, like you say, them hog maws and stuff like that, that's hurting you. That's destroying your health, Mr. Eddie. That's destroying your health. God said you ain't supposed to do that.
Yeah, but
When we
that's
smoke
like-
cigarettes,
hold
we
on,
smoke
hold on,
weed,
hold on.
we do all that chewing tobacco and vaping. That's
don't
destroying our soul. I didn't say you did.
I don't go weed.
I ain't say you did.
don't
This is generalization. This is generalization. Because don't black folks be smoking weed? Don't a lot of black people smoke weed?
Oh, everybody smoke weed.
Yeah, yes, but the thing about it, you may not, and when I say that, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them, because if they can hear me, I'm talking to them. So that might not be your particular case, so don't just, like they say, let it roll off your back. Like water off a duck's back. You just don't do it.
No, I don't. I don't.
Read it again.
I don't.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 24. 25. In meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves.
God said we got to teach our people that oppose themselves. You're in opposition against yourself. When you sin, you're going against God. We're destroying our own souls. Get that in Proverbs 8:36. That's the thing we got to understand. What we do outside, when we do things that are contrary to what God told us to do, there are consequences for it. That's why we're in the conditions that we're in. That's why we can't seem to ever get nowhere as a race of people. We all on the bottom. And ain't no in between. We're on the bottom as a race, because the black man the lowest paid man in America.
Let me ask you a
Besides the Hispanic. Our
ask you
black
one
Hispanic brother, we the lowest paid in America. Come on. What's the question?
If they steal my phone, you gonna buy that phone?
Why ain't you got your phone with you, Mr. Eddie? Go get it and come back talk to me. Read.
Book of Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 36. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul.
God said, if you sin against him, you wrong your own soul. You destroying yourself. You doing wrong upon your own self.
Let him that. Hey, I'm just saying you watching the video. Listen, go ahead and press that subscribe button. IUIC Mississippi Burn.
Jump up to verse 9.
Press the button.
So watch this. So 13.
Club was that at?
Admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again.
Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 32. But whoso commits adultery with a woman.
So God said, when you commit adultery with a woman, come back to me, Mr. Eddie. Get your phone, come on back over here. Get your phone, come back. God said, when you commit adultery with a woman, what do?
Lacketh understanding.
God said, you lack understanding or what else?
He that doeth it destroy his own soul.
God said, when you commit sexual immorality, adultery, sleeping with somebody else's wife, or you a woman sleeping with somebody else's husband, or you out here just slanging your wood every damn well, God said you ruin your own soul. You destroying yourself and your community. We destroy ourselves when we see it. We think we just doing this in our own personal lives. We just peons, we non-factors, and what we don't know don't affect our community. When it does, you destroy yourself. Read it again.
Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 32. But whoso commits adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
Go to Jeremiah 6:16. Because God said when you commit adultery, first and foremost, that's a sin. We shouldn't be doing that at all. If you ain't married, you shouldn't be sleeping with nobody. And if you're married, you shouldn't be sleeping with nobody outside of your spouse. That's how God had it in the Bible. One wife, the husband of one wife. That's what a man's supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to be for your wife, your children. That honorable man taking care of them. Read.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way?
So God said we got to understand something. We got to take a step back as a community, and we got to stand and start looking. What take me to the old paths? The good way. Back in the 50s and before then, our people were flourishing as a race. We were thriving as a people. Black-owned businesses everywhere. The marriage rate was sky high in the black community. The average marriage, the average age that a black woman would get married back in those times was 20 years old. Now you got black women like Vivica Fox. She's 60-something years old talking about she's now looking for a husband. That don't make no sense.
No, hold on.
Come on, talk to me, Mr. Eddie.
Back in the day,
Come on, talk to me.
You had to be 13 or 14 years old. They'll marry you off.
Right, that's what the
White
slave
man.
master was doing, but that was wrong.
Yeah,
that was wrong that they did to us. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when we was operating as ourselves in segregation. We had our own communities. The marriage rate was high. Even in slavery, though, we still thrived. We still thrived in those slave plantations because guess what? We had marriages, we had communities that we established with one another through the opposition from the slave masters and stuff like that. But guess what? That gave us that fuel for when we got out of slavery, we took off as a race. That's why they had to hold us down. That's why they burned down all the successful black cities and then now left their ass out talking about, oh, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps.
Right. Don't forget about Greenwood.
Go back to Greenwood, Bells on it, all that. There's a lot of cities in the Delta that were actually flourishing and thriving, but the white man through their own trickery, through their own engineering, destroyed them cities. Now look at them. It ain't nothing but crime infested. Stay in Jeremiah 6. Go on to verse 13. I'm gonna show you something now because we went from that being a people of self-esteem, self-respect. Black women would never, in your days and before your days, I'm sure, will never be seen out the house half naked. Like you see now. They got their behind out wearing tights and all that now. They were never seen like that. But now what has changed?
You know where that came from?
Hold on, read. 13.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 13. But from the least of them, even unto the greatest.
So God said from the children all the way up to the older men or women, read.
Everyone is given to covetousness.
Everyone is given to what?
Everyone is given to covetousness.
Everybody just trying to have sex today. That's all it's about now. Everybody just trying to get their rocks off. From these young kids, these teenagers, hormone filled. Their emotions is raging. God said from that, what you saying?
12, 13, 14 don't have a baby.
Right, 12, 13, kids having kids all the way up to even your generation and past your generation. Cause I'm pretty sure you know some people is in your age group that still around trying to lay down with women. Still trying to do it, our own whoremonger. God says, from the least of our people to the greatest, we all given into covetousness, sexual immorality, and it's destroying our race. Because like I just said, during your time and before your time, black women held themselves at a certain standard. They weren't walking outside the house looking crazy as hell, with bonnets on their hair, with all type of different colors in their hair, with their legs showing, their behind out, their breasts showing, none of that. But then now you look at them today, the reason why it happened because you got strong men died out in the community. The men that were setting forth that example, they started to die out. And now you had a bunch of men that were being raised by these single mothers, especially during the crack epidemic, weren't doing nothing but trying to just have sex.
No, Bob.
They weren't doing nothing but just trying to have sex. It wasn't nothing but a bunch of whoremongers and whores in them 80s and 90s, and we're just trying to get it in.
And I understand you gonna talk. But listen, hold on before you read. Let me tell you this right here.
Let me hear you.
Listen to this.
Talk to me, Eddie.
They got to realize where that stuff come from when they pull their pants down over the bottom of their head.
You talking about that sagging? That come from prison.
That come from bagging.
Go to Isaiah chapter 20. 20 and 5. I'm gonna show you something. It comes from slavery, but I'm gonna show you something else. It didn't just start in this country and us being enslaved in this country. It started way back then. 20 and I think it's 5. 4.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 20 and verse 4.
Let's do it, Mr. Eddie Reed.
So shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptians, prisoners, and the Ethiopians, captives, young and old.
What did he do to them?
Naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered.
That was a shame. That's what one people did to another people when they enslaved them and they wanted to humiliate them, demoralize them. Look, I'm gonna have you with your ass out. Right. Now you got young kids now walking around thinking that stuff fast. Even men your age, I'm pretty sure walking around with their pants below their behind.
I mean, not me.
Not you, but I'm saying men in your generation. Little boys in the mind. God said that's a slave mentality. That's what they did to people in slavery, to demoralize you, to make you feel less than a man. Read.
To the shame of Egypt. And verse 5.
So God said they did that to the shame of their country. So when we sit up here, they forced the Egyptians to do that. But then when you look at us today, black men, we willingly walk around with our pants below our behind. That makes no sense. That's a change that we have to do up here in our mind. as a race of people. We got to change ourselves. Give me Psalm 19 or Psalm 119 and 9. 119 and 9. Because this is the thing about it. God's laws help us. God's laws are here for our good. His dietary law that controls what we can and can't eat.
Right.
That's for our physical health. That helps us. It helps us thrive in our physical bodies. God has moral and civil laws that help us deal with our conscience, how we think and how we deal with each other. God has ceremonial laws, and those laws dictate like the Sabbath day, the Feast of Tabernacles, Passover, those various different days like that that God said, I want you to honor. That's what he gave to us as a culture, as a heritage, as a race of people. That's what he gave to us, Mr. Eddie, but we don't do that today. Like today is the Sabbath day. God said we ain't supposed to buy and sell on the Sabbath. Now I ain't trying to pick on you, but you went in the store after you heard the scripture and boom.
Y'all won't listen to me.
But so you gonna sin because we shut our ears off just for a second.
It's not just
Your obedience toward God should not depend on what I do to you should not change your obedience towards God.
Right.
I do not
Read.
change my obedience towards God.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way?
So how the black community gonna cleanse our ways? How are we gonna fix ourselves as a race of people? Read.
By taking heed thereto, according to thy word.
We gotta take heed to the word of God. So whatever this Bible says, God says, that's what you gotta take heed to. So we said, thou shalt not kill. We don't supposed to kill. When God said, don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, God said, don't do it. We ain't supposed to do it. You don't like lobster, nothing like good. But the thing about it, catfish and bacon and hog maws and chitlins and stuff like that, God said we ain't supposed to eat that stuff.
Right.
Hog head, cheese, none of that. You ain't supposed to eat it. I'm going to show you it to you in the Bible what you got.
Hold on before you do that.
Let me show you something. Hold real quick. Just let the Bible speak. Let the Bible speak. I got you, Mr. Ed. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to hear you. I just want you to hear what the word of God got to say. Read.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
Right.
And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud.
So you know what that swine is. It's that pig, that hog. God said, though he divided the hoof, because you know they got that split knuckle, right? That split foot, that hoof. He ain't got no solid hoof like a horse. That pig got that split knuckle. And it said, and be cloven-footed, yet he chew him not the cud. He don't have the same digestive process as a cow, as a goat, stuff like that. It said, what does it say about that pig?
He is unclean to you.
God said that pig gonna clean us, Mr. Eddie. Come on.
Verse 8, of their flesh shall you not eat.
So God said the chitlins, the hog maws, the hog head cheese, the pig ears, the pigtails, the pork chops, the pork steaks, the tenderloin, you ain't supposed to eat it.
Ask yourself this right
Come on, talk to me. What you got, Mr. Eddie?
Ask yourself this right here.
Come on.
How do you think we know about this? How do you think they ate back in slavery days?
Okay, think about it. I got you.
Half of the hog, of the pig,
Right.
of the goat,
Right.
of everything.
Right?
We made that.
Mm-hmm.
We made all of that.
Go to Isaiah 29.
Okay.
13. So the thing about it, I got what you're saying, because that's all we had to eat. That's the only thing the slave master gave us to eat, right? But this thing about it, as we know better and we can do better for ourselves, we got to do it. You don't have to eat pork.
Right.
It's more food in the supermarkets and in the Walmart here, or grocery store here. Hold on, Miss Eddie. My sister. Now, hold on now, bro. You can't do that, because this is the thing about it. If they were wrong, you going to continue the wrong that they doing.
Oh, no.
So you just said that.
I'm sorry.
You just said it, Miss Eddie.
I born and raised on a farm.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 10. For the Lord. Verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth.
So therefore we try to honor God all day. Oh, Lord, I believe him. I got a personal relationship with him. Oh, I love God. But what else?
And with their lips do honor me.
We honor God all day. Come on.
But have removed their heart far from me.
God said we remove our mind far from us. So when God said do something, because we used to just giving him lip service, now when it comes down to actually doing something, I don't want to do that. Now, that ain't my Jesus. My Jesus didn't tell me stop eating no pork. My Jesus didn't tell me he don't love everybody, because guess what? We've been taught by the precepts of men. We ain't been taught by the true gospel of God. Right. In these churches, they not teaching us what the word of God said. They teaching us what Christianity say. Right. Lip service, religion, instead of the Bible. Keep reading.
And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
So our fear, our concept of God, the way we understand God, is taught by the precepts of men. Slavery is what we learn in Christianity. When we teach today, those pastors teach it today in these churches, and what we understand as a race is, quote unquote, Christianity and God, knowledge of God, that was taught to us in slavery. It's not taught to us by our people.
What do you say about forgiveness?
Huh?
What do you say about forgiveness?
Okay, we're gonna talk on that forgiveness. But I need you to understand, you ain't supposed to be eating pork, Mr. Eddie.
Okay, I see that.
Hold on, wait a minute. So you gonna walk up because God said you ain't supposed to eat pork?
I didn't say that. You said that.
Hold on, we just read it. So you know that's swine. So you know that's swine.
Read the book of Matthew chapter 15 and verse 9. But in vain do they worship me.
God said, Miss Eddie, you worshiping God in vain because you were taught by the preachers of men that it's okay to eat pork and try to quote unquote worship God. That ain't how you do it, Mr. Eddie. We just read it in the Bible that you ain't supposed to eat no swine. And when I told you that, because you tried to switch the subject, I brought you back and now you want to walk off. Your obedience to God has to be fulfilled, my brother, Mr. Eddie. You're an older man in our community. I'm supposed to be looking at you as the example. I can't look at you like that now because the way you behave in yourself. I eat beef, I eat chicken, I eat turkey. That's what I eat. I eat rice. I eat deer. I don't eat no pork. You still got that slave mind because all these foods are available for you to eat, and you still want to go with the slave master gave our ancestors in slavery.
Right.
Read. Verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
The commandments of men. Christianity is nothing but a doctrine that's teaching you the commandments of men. Traditions. That's what God said, what you do in your churches. You're not learning the word of God. You're learning Christmas. You're learning Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, pastor appreciation. You're learning tithing. Giving this man your money every single week when the Bible don't say nothing about that. God don't say nothing about that in the Bible. Go to verse 3. One said, why you transgress the Lord?
Yes, sir. Matthew chapter 15 and verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
So God said, why are you going to transgress my commandments? Because it's a family tradition to eat pork.
Right.
Your daddy ate pork. Your granddaddy ate pork. Your great-granddaddy ate pork, so you going to eat pork too. God said you transgressing his commandments because you want to hold on to an ungodly tradition. This is destroying our health. We wonder why our health is so destroyed in the black community. Because we eating everything wrong.
What is nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, his word.